Hello everyone, welcome. This is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan coming to you Friday night. Little tiny bit past 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Pacific time. I don't even know what time it is anymore as far as standard or daylight. No, we fell back Friday Pacific night. Standard time. Tiny bit past this is the time we get together. Standard Pacific time. I don't even know what time it is anymore as far as standard or daylight. No, we fell back Friday Pacific night. Standard time. Tiny bit. This is the time we get together. Standard Pacific. I was all right, I'm all good now. I was getting my the vertical live stream set up too. I have to pop out the chat into another window once I realize that the okay, we got the echo, right? The echo is good now. Let me know that the echo is good. Yeah, I had to go to YouTube, find the actual live stream in the vertical format, click it so I could pop out the chat, bring the chat over to my main screen. I think I left the live stream on the other browser. Okay, thank you so much. So let's start again. Yeah, another thing to keep in mind when starting a live stream, a new thing now. Hello, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan coming to you Friday night, a little bit after 6 p.m. Pacific time. This is the time we get together and discuss any and all things vegan. And I see a lot of our regulars are here, and Late Model is back from all her family affairs in the past couple weeks. So I'm glad to have you back. We're all glad to have you back. AJ and VLAM is already here. Awesome. Fallon. I saw Travis Fu Man Poo's here. So awesome. Violet's here from England. Carmichael, what is up, everyone? Thanks for being here. So we get together with this cool, chill bunch of vegans, and I see over on let's see, on the vertical, we have I can't pronounce your name. You're from Norway. Hey Ryan, is it not dangerous to not have choline from eggs in your diet for brain health? Well, let's look at veganism. We should don't start off right away with the definition of veganism and see if it's a diet that we are seeking to like optimize human health and stuff like that. Well, first of all, let's go in the right order here. My bad for having the wrong graphic up. So anyway, let's look at the definition first. I think it makes more sense to flow from the definition. Ooh, that screen is bright there. All right, first of all, it's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Yeah, again, it's not a diet. It's something we do because we believe we have ethical issues with breeding into existence sentient beings. And I see them as moral agents, as you may know, and not that they're moral agents like me. They have moral worth because they have sentience and make decisions. They're agents. Anyway, we believe it is wrong to exploit them and kill them. That's why we're vegan. So we have to eat some food, and we want to know, okay, because our ethical beliefs will we be screwing ourselves if we don't eat any eggs or fish or whatever people say that we're missing out on? And the scientific consensus, as I've shown many times, just even on my most recent video yesterday, is no, a vegan diet is nutritionally adequate. It's not a bad idea to take some supplements. I take a few too. So yeah, if there's some nutrient in eggs like choline, I've seen choline supplements at the stores. So if that's something you're concerned about, take that. There's some bad things in eggs too. They're high in saturated fat or dietary cholesterol. We know that's not like great for heart health or anything like that. So it's like, oh, take something. If you want to get choline, why would I want to take something that's going to increase my risk for heart disease and raise my LDL cholesterol, something I'm really susceptible to genetically? So anyway, thanks for asking that. So yeah, even my point is, even if there's some awesome nutrient in an animal product, like no honest vegan can really say like, oh, all animal products are devoid of nutrients. It's like eating plastic, like that's just factually wrong. There's nutrients in plants and meat. So my point is, yeah, just because there's some nutrients in meat, I don't see any reason why I need to give up my ethics in order to eat an animal that has some nutrients in it that I don't need to get from an animal. It's like saying, no, I got to eat fish for omega-3 fatty acids. No, just eat the algae that the fish are eating. Take the choline supplement instead of eating an animal. Do whatever it takes, So anyway, all right, so thanks for asking that question there. Syndrome Norway. I can't pronounce your whole question there. Yeah, I'm always happy to answer these ethical quandaries that seem like ethical quandaries and they're not. Hey, Nikki's here now. Awesome. What's that, AJ? Your sleep doctor. I could use a sleep doctor. As I'm getting older, I don't know, maybe it's harder to sleep. It's because I'm vegan, right? But anyway, your sleep doctor just said eggs are a perfect protein and that meat is not bad for your heart. Wow. Sounds like your sleep doctor is not up on the latest as far as what the scientific consensus is amongst heart doctors. I mean, I can find your doctor, I can point them like your cardiology associations that recommend against eating all this meat and stuff, so they recommend eating more plants. So I'm not sure what cardiology association your sleep doctor is getting his or her info from as far as nutrition and heart health, but it sounds like your doctor is not in his or her correct lane there. It's a sleep doctor. I bet they have pretty much zero training in cardiovascular health, let alone the latest and what the scientific consensus is amongst working, practicing, researching cardiologists. Interesting. He's keto too. It figures. Yeah, it's like, okay, this person's not listening to actual science then if he thinks that eating meat is great for your heart. I mean, ask a heart doctor. You should tell your doctor it's a he. Okay, just let him know that you're going against the general consensus amongst cardiologists. I just so wonder how I got so lucky that my sleep doctor knows way more than people who've been practicing and publishing and researching cardiology for decades. How do you know so much? It's a miracle of God that I ran into you. Anyway. No, Uncle, you sleep for 3 or 4 hours at a time. Is that implying that you sleep? Hey, Uncle and Peter, by the way. Is that to imply that you sleep multiple times a day, or is that all you get in a day? Great question, late model. Thanks for the super chat tip, by the way. I thought YouTube was merging them together for me. I don't know how to do that. I remember when they sent me an email a few months ago, like, hey, guess what? We're going to have vertical and horizontal live stream. You can do it both at the same time, and all the comments will be in one happy place. And I keep waiting for it to happen. I didn't think I had to do something on top of that. That's why I had to pop out the vertical comments separately. So I'm sorry. If anyone knows anything more about how to merge the comments together, that would be freaking awesome. I guess I could do some research into that matter too this week to try to get it to work. Hey, over in the vertical stream, I see some questions there. Seed oil is good for you. Where do you get your B12? As far as I know, I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that, but I know there's a lot of meat industry funded hype against seed oils being bad for you. So let's just go see what what the general consensus is here. Let's just see are seed oils unhealthy like my keto friends like to tell me? Let's see. Okay, again, this is the AI overview. I'm not saying this is the absolute gospel. This is a stepping stone to see what the general scientific consensus is. And then from there, do some more deep dives. It links to studies and all that. But no, seed oils are not inherently unhealthy. And some research suggests they can be part of a healthy diet, especially when used in moderation. So there's more to it than that, but I know a lot of the anti-vegan people love to say seed oils are what's killing us, and it's not what's killing us. Other things might be killing us, but it's not seed oils. That being said, I'm not a huge proponent of seed oils. I don't have any seed oils in our house here. We don't cook or use seed oils. I just have an honest opinion of it. I just prefer not to use oils, but I'm not avoiding them because I think I'm going to die or they're unhealthy for me or anything like that. But yeah, good question there. Like I said, I know it's a common misinformation talking point amongst the anti-vegan community, whether it's keto or carnivore or just general anti-vegans, whatever, people that just don't fit in one of those categories, but just still are against eating plants. They'll find any reason they can to I shouldn't eat plants because the seed oils are going to kill me because they heard that from some guy spouting misinformation. That's how it works. So anyway, good question there. Okay, so hey Peter, what's up, Peter? How can somebody literally literally like Dr. Barry because he's a really nice, sweet man. He seems like a nice guy. He's all, he just seems really warm and friendly. I bet if you met him, he'll have a big smile and talking to that really nice southern drawl. Sounds really charming and really friendly. And you can trust me. I'm a nice, simple, he has that kind of vibe. I get why people like him. They like his personality. The problem, though, is that as I showed in my video from yesterday, he's spouting complete nonsense with this crap about plants are trying to kill you, and the only reason why plants contain phytochemicals is as a defense mechanism, so like herbivores and people don't eat them. No, it's completely false. They have the phytochemicals that he thinks have only one function, is I should have many biological, botanical functions that the plant utilizes. It helps like prevent like fungal and bacterial infections for instance, just for starters. I mean, there's, he just spouts misinformation. And as I showed, it's pretty unethical. Not my opinion, opinion of what the medical community holds as to be what's the standard of evidence that medical doctors need to abide by. And your sleep doctor fits this too, AJ, how your sleep doctor is first unethically crossing over and giving you nutrition advice about heart health, something that he was not trained in at all, I'm sure, and furthermore giving you information that contradicts the scientific consensus, for which there's overwhelming research supporting the view of the scientific consensus. So yeah, Dr. Barry and AJ's sleep doctor are doing something that is considered unethical in the medical community. Unfortunately, this kind of stuff is not really policed or punished all that much. They'd really have to do something really egregious, and even then they might get away with it. Like ChatGPT, I heard today, has killed another person. They told a person like how to like load a gun, and not taught him. The person's telling him, ChatGPT, he's got a gun. He's sitting there, he's chatting with it for 5 hours in the middle of the night, and ChatGPT says, "You're really brave. I can't believe you're doing this, but I'll see you on that." And they're probably going to get away with it. That's my point. People get away with so much crap. Anyway, you were put in timeout, Pooh? Wait, I didn't see you put in timeout, Fu Man Pooh. You were not put in timeout. Let me look over here to see if I see something that is going on here. You were not timed out, Fu. You are tripping on some kind of drug right now because no one sees it either. So you're totally cool. And good point, Dreamthread. I didn't think about that. If plants have defense mechanisms, then how does it make sense to eat animals if they're eating the plants? Like, how are the animals able to eat the plants? It's weird. I didn't address that. You raised a good point. I see where you're going, but I'm seeing even another point. Like, how are the animals able to eat plants? If they're some animals like elephants, giraffes, rhinoceri, they eat only plants. So how are they able to like not have these defense mechanisms, like drop them dead with all the poisons in them? It's just complete nonsense. Okay.
Thanks for the tip.
Okay, I thought Fu thought maybe he got timed out here. Hey, Hector Reason 86. All right, we'll get rid of the numbers there. I'm sorry how YouTube added those, but thanks for the super chat. Hello from Long Beach to Fresno. Yeah, I know it's the weather has been different this week. We've got some good storms that hit the Pacific Northwest, and I'm sure you got some of that, Sarah. Then it's supposed to even rain down here like sometime next week or next weekend. But yeah, we have one more really nice weekend on tap here, so we'll enjoy it. Yeah, it's going to be like 80 inland tomorrow, maybe like 75 here. It's still kind of it's nice. Yeah, this is usually a really nice time of year for us in this part of Southern California. It's got like some of the summer vibes, but it gets cool at night. It gets into the 50s finally. Something that happens all the time in other parts of California, but here, it's usually like 71 at night or something like that. But yeah, it's a nice time of the year. Anyway, yeah, you're cool, Fu. You're cool. I'm not sure what you're tripping on there, Fu, but you're totally good. You're amongst friends here, and you're not going to get timed out here, Fu. So just, if you got timed out somewhere else, I can't take any responsibility for that, but you're amongst friends here. So yeah, be happy, be chill. Everything is good. And you're cooking up some red lentils tonight, Carmichael. Yeah, I already have the Tuscan Kill pilaf sitting in the I was going to say the air fryer, the pressure cooker. They're sitting right next to each other. So all you got to do is text Angie. And this time she says she'll respond to me instead of ignoring me. She'll respond to me that she got my text. I tell you, we have some tech issues sometimes messaging each other. So yeah, you'll be fine, Fu. Get over it right now. Like I said, you're with us right now. We're amongst cool, chill people right now. You're not going to get timed out here. You'd have to do something crazy. Let's see. Oh, I got let's see. Hey, Allison, were you watching over there on Vertical? And Hector super chatted. Oh, you super chatted. Looks like over on Vertical. Yeah, watch on Vertical. Watch on horizontal. It's all good. The only downside of Vertical is YouTube has not merged the comments together as they said they would. So it's possible that I'm doing something wrong technically. So I guess, yeah, I'll do some research on the internet, AI, whatever it takes to see what I can find about it. There might not be a lot because it's a new feature. But on top of that, I'm really good at testing and troubleshooting, so I could run some tests here one day and see if I can figure it out. Do some private live streams, like where no one could see them except me, and see me, or just me and Angie, and see where the comments are going. But I'm with you, Sarah, too. Or yeah, oil grosses me out too. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't care if other people consume it. It's not it's not an animal. It's a plant, you know. And as we saw, it's not going to kill you either, despite what your carnivore and keto buddies might be telling you. Yeah, Peter, I know. I read that air traffic controllers are, they're federal workers. They're not getting paid. There's not too many of them working, or not as many as we need to have right now. So, yeah, if you're going to fly in America right now, I read it's really going to be impacting certain airports more than others. I didn't click to see which ones because I'm not flying anytime soon. I mean, not to say I don't care about you guys if you're flying, but I didn't pursue finding the exact names of the airports because I'm not going to be traveling anytime soon. So yeah, be careful out there, guys, if you're going to be flying anytime soon. It sucks. Yeah, you would think, yeah, the big ones like in California, like LAX, San Francisco, the big ones like that. I heard about that, Peter. I didn't see it myself. I saw a meme of it on Reddit about some dude. I don't know who the dude was. He fell over in the Oval Office and Trump just kind of staring blankly at the press or camera or something like that. Hey Hector, thanks again for the super chat tip. This week the guitar playing consisted of I played guitar twice this week. Yesterday, as I was songwriting with Angie, and that was on the one of my acoustic guitars. And the day before that, I was jamming on my Strat. Yeah, one of my two Strats. So yeah, it's been a Strat week as far as the electrics go. Yeah, I've been playing my Telecaster a lot more too, right back there. Usually the one you see back there is the one I've been playing most recently, but or at least one I'm recording with, and that was the one I recorded with last. I like to just set it down there in case I got to get up and move a microphone or something like that. So anyway, yeah, Nikki, I'm with you too. Like oil works in some Asian foods as well. I get you. Like spring rolls and stuff like that. Totally, I have no problem with that. I don't eat them all that often. Oh, thank you, AJ. Thanks for contributing to our non-deficient vegan cult here. So thanks so much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you both to you and Hector for both this week and last week. You guys was very kind super chat donations, and to Sarah as well this week too. So thank you guys. Okay, AJ said Trump had just woken up in that photo. That's why he looks so surprised. I'm kind of wondering, why would you just wake up if you're having a bunch of people in your office? I don't know the whole context. That seems kind of strange, but heck, maybe that's what it's like to be a president, and especially at that advanced age too. I'm sure you want to take naps. Oh, I didn't see Uncle. Did you tell me? Do you take naps throughout the day, or do you sleep just 4 hours at night and that's it? Let's see. What is Buckethead saying? I see you responding to Buckethead. Let me see if I can find Buckethead's comment. I am not seeing it. Let me look one more time. Maybe I need to scroll a little bit more. I do not see it. Hey Heidi, how's it going? If I didn't say hi to you all already. So anyway, Dr. Oz. Haven't thought about him for a while, but yeah, isn't he like, didn't he get some cabinet appointment or something like that? I can't remember. Oh, you went to Allison. Hey, late model went over to the vertical comments right now and told Allison to come over. Let's see. Let me see what Allison wrote. It's been an eventful and dramatic week in Canadian politics. I haven't heard about that. What happened? Not that I want to talk about politics, but I thought I'd mention it to you, Ryan. I'm sorry to hear about that, Allison. Yeah, stay there if you want. If you're busy right now, that means you can't look at the chat. Maybe you're just primarily listening or watching or something like that, and you're not reading the chat. Yeah, the vertical stream is fine. I tell you, I will find a day next week to dedicate to learning to see if I can make the two comments merge, as YouTube promised that they shall be. Like, I want to know if I'm doing something wrong or they haven't implemented it yet. I will find out. I've never gone on a cruise in my life, Carmichael. To me, honestly, on one hand, it sounds kind of fun, but I think I'm just thinking about my 70s TV show, The Love Boat that I used to watch. It looks chill. But what was I going to say? No, it sounds horrible. Being trapped in a tiny area with a bunch of people the whole time. People who are there primarily to party. I'm gonna drink and shit and dance. No, that sounds like a nightmare. An artistic introvert's nightmare. It sounds horrible. So no, I probably won't be going on any cruises anytime soon. Hey, VLAM, are Jehovah's Witnesses a thing in the United States? Oh yeah, we have a Jehovah's temple not too far from here. Let's see. What'd you see? A few aunties come up to my shop to preach their Bible every now and again. Super annoying, but I've started to preach veganism to them. Yeah, they sometimes try to start conversations with them. I saw, thank you. I'm polite. I'm not a dick or anything. I say, thank you, but I'm Buddhist, so I already have my beliefs, or something like that. If they want to engage me further, we'll see how much free time I've got. But yeah, that's pretty much how I'm Buddhist. Like, I'm not going to try to convert you, so don't try to convert me to a Jehovah's Witness. So Peter says, in the week in Canadian politics, which I was not aware of. That's so cool. I tell you, I've catered my news, so I get the most minimal news possible, so I'm probably not getting much in the way of Canadian news. And I've set it up this way on purpose. The biggest tweak I did was really not read I used to look at on my iOS or Apple devices, the Apple News app. I rarely look at it anymore. So my main news is Reddit, and Reddit's really cool. They allow you, it's one of the last remaining social media platforms that allow you just to get posts from things that you are following. Like, have you gone on any of the Meta properties lately? It's like, it's just a bunch of people I don't know, a bunch of crap I don't care about, and there's no way to say, hey, I just want to see the stuff I'm following. And I'm glad Reddit, at least for now still, is ethical about that. I'm sure a lot of their users would leave. So anyway, I've tailored my Reddit experience to not be aware of everything. So that's cool. A big week in Canadian politics, a shakeup. The Conservative government is doing badly. Wow. But yeah, AJ, yeah, that's totally right. They go around door to door and they preach to people and leave you literature and stuff like that. And they're kind. They seem like kind people. They have been described sometimes as a cult. I don't know if that's true or not, but they have some of the characteristics in my mind. But I don't hold that against them. They seem like decently nice people of the community, and I'm nice to them. So anyway. Hey, Peter, you've been a member now for, let's see. Did I watch that guy, for 41, so I watched that video about the shirtless jungle guy bashing veganism and seed oils. I saw it. I already just talked about that shirtless jungle guy exploiting his little baby in the background. I don't know if I'm up for another one, but thanks for sending me that one. When you said the shirtless jungle guy, for some reason I was assuming you were talking about Paul Saladino, but no, you're literally talking about this guy that seems to not own any footwear or shirtwear. Is that a word? So I don't know. Anyway, thanks for sending me that. Hey, Nikki, you've been a member for 18 months. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are so awesome. Yummy vegan food plans for Thanksgiving. We don't have any plans yet. I don't know what we're going to do for Thanksgiving. We'll probably just get some tamales. Yeah, we're so lucky that we can go to a place like Shane's Tamales and get some really good tamales. So yeah, if any of you guys are in SoCal, he has a store now, and Garden Grove, not too far from like Disneyland. So check them out for you can order them off his website, or you can just go to the store like Wednesday through Sunday. We'll do one of the two. Oh, would you say late model the Jehovah's set up a little display in populated parks? So yeah, they've had one for some time. I don't say it every time, but speaking of Disney, in downtown Disney, they're allowed to set up a table there. I guess they have to abide by certain rules. They have to be chill and stuff like that. Let's see, Tabby Tomato. I'm not sure if I missed you already over in the vertical. Hey Ryan, I've been vegan for 11 years. Awesome, that's a long time. Still not dead, right? Awesome. Could you recommend how I can improve your vitamin D and iron levels, please? Well, first of all, I'm not a dietitian or nutritionist and like that, so I shy away from giving people nutritional advice. But sunlight is one way to get vitamin D, but it really depends on a lot of things: how much melanin you have in your skin, how often you're out in the sun absorbing vitamin D. If you live at certain like latitudes that are too far from the equator, you just simply can't get it for certain portions of the year, depending on how far up or down you are from the equator. So my suggestion is just take a vitamin D supplement. I think there's one in my I can't remember anymore, but just there's all sorts of ways to take to get vitamin D safely without having to like expose yourself to UV rays, assuming you have some to expose yourself to. Iron, just green plants, leafy greens. Have some like citrus with it. That'll help absorption as far as I know. Hey Hector, thank you again for your super chat tip there. If a vegan's diet relies on global trade systems, like, don't they all? I mean, when you go to the market, isn't food being moved all around the world anyway? That exploit poor human labor for cheap quinoa or avocados, is that morally superior to eating local? Well, let's look at what veganism is. I'll answer your question for sure. Great question. Let's go once again to what veganism is. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Doesn't say anything about human cruelty or exploitation. Not to say that we should be ignorant or agnostic to human cruelty and exploitation, but at its core, veganism is very clearly talking about humans not effing around with animals, not exploiting them, not killing them, not slaughtering them. Just leave the animals alone. They are not resources. They're not property for us to do with as we please. But you're talking about the things that humans do to other humans, how they exploit them, and like say like as farm workers or laborers or whatever. The many ways humans treat humans shittily. Like, humans treat animals really horribly, and they don't treat humans all that much better too. I don't know what humans can do about that exactly. So if you can afford to eat more local stuff, like at your farmer's market, do what you can. But hey, if you're broke, you got no money, SNAP benefits income, you can't afford to take that super moral high ground if that's important to you. But as a vegan, I don't think you're required to, but if you have the means to do it and the desire to do it, go for it. Let me see if I got your question there, but depends where you live out in the world, Hector. You live in California, so your avocados don't come from like the rainforest. I remember I heard like people in Britain complain, the like Mexican rainforests are dying are getting killed or destroyed because you're eating avocados. I'm thinking, not mine. Mine come from like San Diego County, which is like, I could drive there in a couple hours, I mean, you can grow avocados in Southern California like wonderfully, so for us, avocados are a local food. You don't have to like do anything special to get local avocados. But I'm saying it's true for me, and it might not be true for everyone watching right now. I totally understand. I'm just speaking from my experience, and that's really the only experience I really know all that intimately. I've never lived as someone else, and I haven't lived anywhere further away from. I've always lived in California, so I can give you my perspective as a full-on, lifelong Californian. I know people say, why don't you talk about this or that? I can't talk about things I don't do or haven't experienced. I'd be ignorant. I'd be just, I would have no authority or expertise to speak on something I know not of. I know a lot of other people on the internet don't give a shit about that. They'll go off on things they don't know jack crap about, but I'm not dumb like that. I shouldn't call them dumb, but I'm just not, I don't pretend to know shit I don't know. Hey, you got that, Heidi. I'm from California, where we drink the soy latte. Ryan and his soy latte from California. Nope, it's an almond milk latte. VD, totally got it wrong. Guac is live. Totally agree with you there. Yeah, hardly a week goes by where we don't consume some sort of avocado, because we're always, we go to the market, we always get a few avocados. Dodgeball, zero progress turning your family members vegan. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I can't make any family members go vegan either. At least they're cool about it. They don't give me a bunch of shit or anything about it. But yeah, I have zero success with family. That's probably the toughest. Cool, Tabby. I'm glad you like my answer to your question there over in the vertical. And Jacob asked, am I good at chess? I mean, relative. I mean, it's all relative. If you're not experienced at chess, I'll whip your butt. But if you're an intermediate player, we can have a good game. When I don't play ranked games, rated games anymore on chess.com. I just play as a guest or whatever. But when I was playing rated games, my rating was fluctuating between like 1,000 and 1,100, something like that. So you can take what you want from that. If I'm good at chess, yeah, it's all relative. Yeah, good compared to a master? No, I suck. Good compared to like the majority of people who play? Yeah, probably over the 50th percentile. Oh, wow. Late model, you've had better success than I've ever had. Your dad went almost fully plant-based because of you. Wow, but it's harder with the dementia. I totally get it. Yeah. Now, my mom, no, she's never listened to me. She always has excuses like, I don't know how to make the food. Like, no, we've gifted you all our books. You get them for free from us, I don't have Angie there to make them for me. Well, I mean, the dishes aren't that crazy hard to make, So anyway, avocado bagel. That sounds great, Diana. Let me have some of that. Oh, VLAM. Are you back from Taiwan? I remember you were there last week and you called it. Yeah, I told Angie that you described Taiwan or Taipei as a vegan paradise. It feels like there's something for vegans on every street and people are so knowledgeable about what vegans actually eat. Really? That's amazing. I've heard stories of friends traveling to like France and they say, oh, vegetarian? Oh, so you eat chicken. Like, what part of vegetable, it's the root word of vegetarian sound, it gives the vibe of eating chicken. It blows my mind. So that's great to know that people in Taiwan actually understand, vegetarian doesn't mean you eat chicken instead of cows. That's awesome. Very good first step there. It sounds like they're on way beyond the first step. Jacob, that's pretty decent. I know the ratings are different in chess. It's not like an ELO rating when you have a 1,000 or 1,100 on chess.com. I used to play on another site called Li Chess, Li Chess. And I was rated higher there. I forgot what, 12 or 13, 1,400. I don't remember, something like that. But on chess.com, it's around 11,000 to 100 rating. But anyway, yeah, I like to play chess. I play chess most days online when I got some free time. Maybe I've just had a meal, want to digest a little bit before I get back into like working on this or on music or other business affairs, just play some chess, something like that. But I haven't played it over the board chess in decades. It's all like, online. Where do you start to learn music? Take some music lessons. Like, get a guitar or piano, take some lessons. That's a way to start. And there's different ways to look at it. Do you want to get good at just music in general, like understand music theory, harmony, stuff like that? Or do you want to just kind of learn an instrument? You'll pick up those other attributes too, I was just talking about, those other skills. But yeah, take some lessons. And don't be afraid to be a beginner and suck at something. And we all suck at something when we're like brand new at it. And it's a skill. It's a bunch of skills. I mean, there's dexterity issues, training your brain to like fire off the right neurons, move your fingers in a coordinated way as you're considering what chord changes and keys you're in and stuff like that. There's a lot going on. Music is quite an activity for you there. So just have some fun. You just want to write music? Well, again, I would still start with a lesson, because if you want to write music, it helps to have an instrument to write the music on, so you can't go wrong with piano or guitar. Seriously, those are, I would say, the two best instruments to have for songwriting. And if you can write on both, even better, So yeah, start with that and approach it as a songwriter. You might want to tell whoever, if you follow my advice and get a teacher, just let your teacher know, yeah, I want to learn my instrument here. I really want to become a songwriter, so I want to like learn more, like, just see if they will tweak their teaching to that a little bit. Yeah, and writing lyrics in the shower is a fine place. Let's see. Let me read some of your comments here. Guitar while camping. Yeah, bringing a guitar can be fun while camping if you have the space to like pack a guitar in with you. Okay, wow. Sarah is suggesting, late model suggesting a online guitar, voice, piano lesson person. Hey, Carmichael, you're back. I'm sorry, I didn't even know you left there a sec. I've just been so preoccupied here by going through all your comments. So, let's see. We haven't had anyone try to debunk veganism yet tonight. Let's see if that happens. I didn't go and find people leaving crappy comments this week. I was just busy doing so. I didn't even go to the gym today. We're trying to finish up a song. We just recorded more vocals last night. I was busy. I started a whole new song last night in the early part of the day. And then last night recorded some more vocals for the song that we're pretty far along in. And today, like, just made sense of all the vocals recorded yesterday. Angie comped your vocals, and I was sitting there producing them for hours, trying to get them to blend in with everything and trying to figure out what's really happening here. So anyway, yeah, I didn't even go to the gym. I told Angie, no, I'm just going to work on the song today so we can, make some more progress on that. So anyway. Hey, Hector, thanks so much for the super chat again. Let's see what you're asking here. Does rejecting nature's food chain reflect moral evolution or moral denial? I don't know what is meant by nature's food chain exactly. That could be interpreted in many ways. Like one way one could interpret nature's food chain as like living completely in nature, like apart from civilization and technology. Or does it mean just eating like what you can get was raised within walking distance, don't have foods shipped or trucked around? Basically, does it reflect moral evolution or moral denial? I think what you're describing there, either way, Hector, any way you define nature's food chain, I think it's not a moral issue. It's amoral. It doesn't relate to morality. It doesn't, describe what we ought to do, what is right or wrong in any objective sense or something like that. I don't see any moral issue with eating, food that was grown in your backyard, or like eating a cherimoya that was flown in from, the other side of the world or something, even though we can grow cherimoyas in California too. But I think you know my point. I'm not sure how eating foods that were grown, like today I had bananas. They weren't growing around here. I didn't feel that it was an immoral action to eat bananas from the tropics. Oh, I did answer your question, Carmichael. No, going on a cruise as a introverted, artistic person, and me and Angie both fit that description as well. It sounds like a living nightmare for us. I mean, I have enough issues going to Disneyland, but going on a cruise, being stuck with all these people for like, a week or a few days or whatever on this tiny boat, you can't get away from them. And they're there to party hard, get drunk, woohoo, Cabo, let's drink, and that's just so not what I'm into. So, no, I've never been on a cruise. And I don't see myself ever signing up. Yeah, I'll take one of these 2 tickets for that cruise, please. And they're not cheap either. So I'd probably spend my money on something else. I wanted to like get away. I'd rather travel to a wine tasting trip to Northern California or something like that than go on a cruise if I wanted to experience a little alcohol and fun. Yeah, you too, VLAM. Yeah, I have so many questions about the question. Like, how does nature relate to morality? Yeah, nature is amoral, or is it talking about how humans are not part of the nature's food cycle? It's a really interesting question. It seems like unrelated things. Maybe Hector's got something else in mind he can elaborate on. No, Peter, no cruise. No, Disney cruise sounds worse because then you'll have a bunch of babies trapped on there with you. And if not babies, like young kids and stuff. No, if I'm going on a cruise, it's get away from. I'd rather be with adults than kids if I were on a cruise. So a Disney cruise sounds even worse. I don't care if Mickey Mouse or Pluto or whatever, Three Little Pigs are going to be on there. Goofy, I don't care. I don't like that stuff. Maybe a vegan cruise, perhaps. I'm not sure. But yeah, just a cruise does not sound attractive for me. If you like cruises, awesome. You know, someone's got to go on them, I guess. But yeah, they're just don't sound appealing to me in the slightest bit. Yeah, they seem like torture, huh, Nikki? Okay, so Carmichael, you did go on a few cruises when you were a kid. Last one you're 18. And they were fun, but now it's vegan. I see now the food options. Yeah, they're not necessarily vegan friendly. Oh, hey Sid Delicious, just pop it in, Ryan. I like great and healthy. Well, thank you. I'm trying my best. Mad Bassett popped in on the vertical. Liberal or conservative. That is known in critical thinking as a false dichotomy. You know, are you talking about like registered party or ideology that we follow as humans? Like for me, I fit into neither of those. I don't follow ideology. I follow my own rational thinking processes, trying to believe as many true things as possible. And thank God I've studied philosophy so I can reason through things. As far as political party defining who you are, well, I'm what's that called? No party, independent, I guess it's called. So yeah, I'm neither. So because I think for myself. That being said, to be objective, give an objective of assessment of myself, you know, I don't think it'd be a stretch to say, considering where the political climate is like now in the United States, I definitely fall left side of center 100%, just because the right, not everyone right. I know like there's great people on the right like Heidi, but you know, there's like, you know, a lot of like, you know, love of like Nazis and fascism and stuff like that. You know, that's so extreme. That wasn't like part of the right, like say like when I was growing up and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm left just because the right has gotten so right. You know, I'm more left of center. Okay, I'm glad you like that, Heidi. I'm trying to phrase that as precisely as I could there. Carmichael, I seem like a smart man. I remain agnostic about if I'm a smart guy or not. That's up for anyone to decide. Some people like VD think I'm just totally dumb and I have no brain left because it's all vegan brain fog at this point. You know, other guys think I'm clever. I don't know. I think I'm okay. I never thought I was like the smartest guy in the world or anything like that. You know, so you know, that's up for you guys to decide individually. I have other things that I think about way more interesting than if I'm smart or not. It's something I don't sit there and like, let's reason through that. You know, I just am what I am. You know. Has Angie ever made banana peel bacon? No, I didn't even know that was a thing. Wow.
Thanks for the tip.
Oh, I just got a super chat tip from Peter. Thank you, Peter. Would I go on a sober vegan cruise? Plus, if you do go on a Disney cruise, they have a doll-only sections. I'm just saying, I don't care to see the characters or whatever, you know. Unless it's Baymax. I do like Baymax. And I kind of like Chippendale, too, because Angie likes Chippendale. But that's about it. A sober vegan cruise. Now, if I were to go on a cruise, I wouldn't want it to be a forced sober trip. I wouldn't mind, you know, at a nice moment enjoying a glass of wine or something like that. You know, I have no I'm not a straight edge person or anything like that. But if you are, that's totally cool. You know, again, like you don't have to do what I'm doing. I hardly ever drink. You know, I rarely drink, but when I do, it's like a nice glass of wine, enjoying a nice day with my great wife, and trying to find some niceness in life. Because that's what I like about wine. I don't know if that applies as much to like beer or hard alcohol and stuff like that, whiskey, but that's about wine. It's lower in alcohol typically, and you enjoy it over a fine moment, and you go, wow. Even though life seems to kind of suck right now, at this moment it doesn't. I'm seeing the beauty of life here, this great food and the great people that made this wine 2 years ago, and all the great soil elements that contributed to the flavor here and stuff like that. It just makes life a little bit better. Just like when you listen to good music, same thing. I like things like that that just kind of remind you that life isn't all bad. You like Chippendales too, AJ? Now I'm talking about Chip and Dale. I did see that Chippendales series. Forgot what it's called. I just remember it had the Dinesh character from Silicon Valley, so you gotta watch that. It's a trippy show. I don't know if I recommend it or anything like that. If you don't mind seeing a bunch of Chippendale dancer dudes, which is not my thing, it's probably more for the ladies, but Angie wanted to check it out, but she's not into that either. But anyway, does Trader Joe's have a lot of good mock vegan meats and stuff? Yeah, not bad. It's not like going to like a Chinese supermarket where there's a whole ton of them and stuff like that. Let's see. Oh, the guy wanted to know if I'm liberal or conservative. Really wants to know about my political leanings. I told you where my leanings are, bro. Did I vote in the last election? Yeah, I told you. I didn't say I voted. I told you where I stand in the spectrum today of how, you know, left versus right, and you can infer from that which way I voted. Yes, Dodgeball. I've recently discovered Italian wine. It's kind of been a big hole in a blank spot in my wine knowledge. But as I've been telling you, there's this amazing, totally amazing Italian vegan restaurant down in Retro Row here in Long Beach. Mangia Fogli. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I never studied Italian. I studied French and Spanish, so my Italian is crap. But anyway, their food is amazing. Went there again last Saturday with Angie. Thanks to your guys' super chat tips from Friday night. So thank you. We went there, enjoyed an amazing meal, margarita pizza. Is it the Caesar salad? Yeah, everything's vegan there, so don't worry. And had a glass of Sicilian dry Sicilian white wine. I forgot they have all these like indigenous varietal grapes in Italy and Sicily particularly that you don't ever see here basically. So the wines there are amazing, grown in like some like near Mount Etna volcanic soils, and amazing food, amazing wine there. Yes, I've had other wines there that are from the Italy proper that are equally as good. So yeah. But yeah, Uncle, here in California, Prop 50 passed. So that means that California can redraw their voting districts such that it'll kind of keep pace with what Texas did, and they didn't need to like have a vote on it. They just did it unilaterally without anyone saying. Anyway, yeah, we did that here. We passed it. It passed overwhelmingly. Like I forgot, like 70 to 25% or something like that. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, Sicilian wine is awesome. Yeah, I've been learning about wines of Sicily. Yeah, ever since I've discovered there's Sicilian wines, I'm making a little database on my computer of like wines from regions I like. I have a whole database on like Russian River Valley wines, for instance. I have a whole database on now Sicilian wines. So I'm learning, keeping the knowledge of that stored here. And I can run that knowledge through my local artificial intelligence models, I just say, LLM models. I run locally here, guys. Don't worry, I'm not destroying the earth with a crazy server. It's running on my very efficient Apple Silicon computer here. It has a lot of RAM. I got a pretty beefy computer for music and video editing, and it turns out that extra RAM has been sitting idle for since I got the computer in 2022. It has 64 gigs of unified memory. I probably don't need more than half of it. So now I have half of my computer's RAM filled up with a large language model, so I can shoot questions at it all the time. Really fun. But yeah, that's one thing I'm doing with my LLM. I'm incorporating a wine database in there into it to just kind of learn more about wine. I've kind of been fascinated about wine lately. I'm considering at some point maybe taking a class that intro to like becoming a sommelier of sorts. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. They have them at some of the local community colleges, and if you don't mind paying some class like $800, you can do that too. Much cheaper to go to the community college for a couple $100, but that wouldn't be until next. I think next fall. It's happening right now. I guess I have to wait a year, so I'm not in no hurry to do this. But it's something I think the way I described it to Angie, I've always liked wine for like most of my adult life. She does too. And I think now is a good time to actually learn about, like, why do I like certain wines that I like? What is it about them that draw me to them as opposed to other kinds? And I've actually been having these discussions with the AIs, and I've figured out what kind of stuff it is. I like certain kind of climates, a certain just a craft making wine process rather than like just big commercial grows that just try to maximize yield and don't really care about taste or flavor. So yeah, I've kind of figured out what I'm into, and I'm discovering now across the world, these Italian wines follow a lot of these same practices. So anyway, oh hey, late model / Syrah. I actually want to drink some Syrahs now. I haven't really had any much in the way of Syrahs on their own, but I did go to a local place here, Seal Beach Winery. They don't grow the grapes here; they grow them in Santa Barbara County. But anyway, yeah, they made they have a GSM blend, Grenache Syrah Mourvèdre. I had that a couple weeks ago. Really delicious. I don't think I've ever had Syrah on its own. How about you? Since your old name was Syrah, were you a fan of Syrah? If so, let me know what your thoughts are on Syrah. So yeah, next time I see a Syrah just on its own, I'll check it out. Favorite wine. My favorite winemakers is a small, like a husband wine team. Their runs are small. It's like 2 barrels, 3 barrels. The name of the wine brand, it looks like accenty, like accent, but I think they're playing off the Italian pronunciation. Accenti, Accenti. Look them up, Accenti. They're from Northern California. They have grapes that they get from Napa County, Sonoma County. And man, the first bottle I had of their rosé, which supposedly is a favorite of Stevie Nicks', I've learned somehow, it is amazing. It's better than any French rosé I've ever had. It is the best rosé I've ever had in my life. So ever since then, it kind of woke me up. Wow, I got to like figure out what's going on with these guys. Why is their wine so good? And it's really not that expensive. It was under $30 for the bottle. But yeah, I'm with you, late model. Yeah, those @ signs make it harder to follow conversations, and I don't know any way to get rid of that. That's like a YouTube thing. I don't know why they did that. I'm not sure what the hell. I guess I can Google, ask the makers of this, why is this happening now in the live streams, because it sucks. Yeah, Heidi, I'm on a wine exploration this winter. I kind of started my wine explorations a couple months ago this summer when I started putting together my wine database into my local AI system. It's really cool. I can sit there and chat with it. I can ask it. Like, I loaded up a new AI today to see if it would be better, and it's looking really good. I can ask it stuff. I have like my Sicilian database in there, Sonoma County one. I could ask them, like, compare to me. What similar wines can you find between those 2 regions? And I'll throw in another region I don't have a database for, like the Rhone Valley in France. It'll bring that knowledge in too. It's really, really cool. It's a funner way to learn about wine or any topic that matter than like taking a class, I guess. I'm thinking by the time I get to take a class, hopefully I'll be like I'll know more. Backyard hens. Is someone asking about backyard hens? I didn't. Carmichael. Well, again, I'll tell you what I think, but what I think isn't based solely on my independent thinking. It all goes back to the definition of veganism: a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. One could make an argument. I'm not going to say I buy it 100%, but one could make a decent argument that if you have a pet in your backyard, like a chicken and hen or whatever, and they're laying eggs, like, there's no cruelty there. They're not. It's like you're treated like a pet. So let's just give them that. I'll say, okay, I'll assume you're treating your chickens like I would treat a dog or cat or something like that. Let's live with that. Let's move on to so cruelty. We'll check that off. No cruelty, but exploitation. This is where I have an issue. So let me go to the definition of exploitation. And the definition of exploitation is the action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from their work. And this is part of benefiting from their work. It's like they are working. It's not like an active job. It's like, bees. They produce work in the form of honey for bee purposes, or the colony, the queen, bee things, not human things. And then if a human takes it for human things, even if it's for their own personal, non-commercial use, you're still interrupting with the bee's body. They've been evolved over thousands, millions of years to produce honey. That's their only big thing they do in life, and you're taken away from. Same with chickens. Chicken eggs are for chicken purposes. And to think, hey, I know better, I'm going to take their egg away from them because I'm going to do something with it. Well, I feel that in itself violates what the spirit of the word exploitation means. So that's how I feel about it. Furthermore, I would add, apart from morality issues, I should say, there's absolutely no reason to eat eggs. It's not like if you don't eat eggs, there's some nutrient in there that us vegans are going to die because we're not getting it or something like that. I mean, if that were the case, a lot of us should be long dead, buried, and we're still here because we're not deficient. So there's absolutely zero reason to eat eggs. As far as a vegan nutritional standpoint, you're not going to die. We're all evidence of that. And if you want to be consistent about not exploiting a sentient being, taking away their work for your human purpose, because in that sense you are kind of treating the animals as resources and property once again. If you're using them to make something that you're going to benefit from them, that's not how I treat my cats. They don't make anything other than poop and vomit. I don't benefit from that. It's a burden for me to clean that stuff up. But my point is, yeah, once you start taking something from them that you're going to use for your own benefit, that fits the definition of exploitation. Carmichael, I said, I'll just say, let's, for argument's sake, you said, is taking the eggs harming? I said, let's say there's no cruelty in that. Let's say there's no harm or cruelty going on with the chickens in your backyard and all that. I still have a problem with the exploitation part. You're benefiting from someone else's work. In this case, another sentient being's, an animal's work. They're working. Their bodies produce eggs. Bees' bodies produce honey. And we're taking that away for our own human purposes. And at that point, you are looking at these chickens as a resource to produce eggs for your benefit. You're looking at bees. Say, yeah, you keep backyard bees because you love bees. You have bee wallpaper and everything, and you love bees. But as soon as you start taking their honey away from them for your benefit, that's become they're a resource to produce these products for you. These products, they shouldn't even be products. They're just the stuff that their body does naturally if fed and cared for properly and stuff. So that's my whole point about that. That's how I stand on that. I see an issue with it being immoral because it's exploitative. It might not be cruel, it might not be harmful, but it fits the spirit of what exploitation means.
Thanks for the tip.
Oh, I got another. Hardly Tin Man Adonis. Yeah, the @ symbols make it really tough to see what's going on, huh? $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Vegan, thriving, and proud to be lifestyle member. Thank you so much. I see Sarah had a comment. Late model had a comment about the chickens. The more eggs you take from the hen, the more they produce. And the more they produce, that stresses out their body. Yeah, if you just left the eggs there, I'm not a big student of animal biology, but I do remember something along those lines. Yeah, the reason why they're producing eggs more prolifically than they would normally if left on their own and humans not effing with them is because the humans are taking the eggs and biologically there's a need to create more eggs, something like that, right? I know I'm screwing this up big time, but I think you get the point there. And the more they produce, the more it stresses out their body. So in that sense, you can say taking eggs from a backyard hen, chicken, whatever, is harming the chicken and exploitative too, as I argued. So I'm just saying, yeah, my argument didn't depend on the harming or cruelty part, but I still see it's a clear violation of their rights as agents being exploited. But yeah, thanks, Tin Man. Awesome. AJ, your town is going door to door and picking up boxes of food. I don't read too much news, but I did see today that the funding has gone through for this month's SNAP. And at first I read it was going to be partial, like half. Then I read it was going to be a full funding. It's going to be a little late, but yeah, people need it now if their benefits kicked in on the 1st or whatever. So that's good to know that people will get food until whenever, I don't know how long it takes from the money going to the States to ending up in people's accounts or whatever. So that's good to know. Awesome. Hey, David's vegan. Good to catch me live. Awesome. Yeah, every Friday around this time. Started about an hour ago. Allison, you saw a comment on Facebook. Why am I not surprised on Facebook, right? Like all the Rhodes Scholars go to Facebook and comment, right? You saw a comment on Facebook last week that someone thought that fungi could be and are probably more sentient than animals. I mean, they have some kind of amazing mycelial, is that the word, network where they can communicate somehow, information, not communicate, hey Fred, how you doing, just somehow information, like how the soil is or something like that. It sounds pretty amazing, but that doesn't mean that they're sentient, let alone more sentient than like your dog or cat. That's pretty far-fetched. Yeah, like plants and fungi have amazing properties. Like I said, they've evolved over millions of years. They can do some really amazing things, or else they wouldn't be here. Thank you, Hartley $10 for acknowledging me as the vegan cult leader, the de facto, the one and only vegan cult leader. Because remember, veganism is a cult. We're letting the secret out finally after all these years. Yeah, oh, Peter, yeah, I know. The reason why the SNAP benefits are going out, albeit late, is because, yes, I talked about it last week. 2 federal courts said, no, the benefits got to go. If the money's just sitting there in an emergency account, this is an emergency. I've read that SNAP's never lost a month of funding ever in its 61-year history until this sitting president. So anyway, the money's sitting there and it needs to go out, and that's what the courts ordered. I remember last week a few of you expressed a little skepticism, or a lot of skepticism, if the order would be followed by the administration. I thought, it most likely would. I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I thought more than likely it would. Probably they would try to delay it, perhaps. But it sounds like they followed through and it's going to happen. I am the leader of the vegan cart, Eston Hewart. I am the secret leader, not so secret leader now. Let's see. Vegan is Guy is over on the vertical watching Frankenstein on Netflix. Wow, I didn't know that was on there. Carmichael, sure. You're welcome for entertaining your backyard eggs query. They are your mom's chickens and she eats the eggs and you don't. Oh, cool. Awesome. I'm glad you're not eating the eggs. What is my favorite red wine? Like a non-blended red wine. I have to say, I had a pretty decent Pinot Noir when I went to the Seal Beach winery a couple weekends ago with Angie. I tell you, they don't grow the wines there in Seal Beach, but the winery's there, like where you go and buy stuff, sit down, do tastings and flights and stuff like that. They grow them in Santa Barbara County, and you guys ever see the movie Sideways? It came out like in the 2000s. It was about wine. It's a comedy. It won a few like Oscars or something like that. Anyway, that's in Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo County, and they were all chasing Pinot. And that region there, one area of Santa Barbara, the Santa Rita Hills, is arguably the best Pinot growing region in all the United States. It rivals those of in Burgundy in France. Is that where it is? It's not or is it Bordeaux? I get it mixed up. No, I think it's Burgundy. Anyway, I had a really nice Pinot from the Santa Rita Hills AVA. It was delish. It was totally delish. It's weird. The guy just had finished a bottle, so he opened up a new one for me. And my first sips and tastes and smells like, it's okay. But as I think it aerated I probably drank it over like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It keeps getting better over time. It's like, it was really delicious. Pinot from Argentina. Yeah, it just needs a certain kind of climate. You need, ideally, like cold, like sun, but not too hot. Like having the fog come in. That's what happens in this one area of Santa Barbara. The fog comes in the afternoon, keeps it cool nights. You get sunny. That's what you're looking for. If it gets too hot, it messes up something in the grapes. I forgot. They get too sweet or something like that. But yeah, I know a little bit. I know a little tiny bit. I'm expanding my knowledge a little bit. Okay, any good red wine will open up over time. I kind of wondered that too, because I saw him. He poured off the last bit of the open bottle he had, because it's one of their poor tasting flights wine. Then he opened up a new one for me, so I got like maybe 90% just opened up in front of me wine, so it had zero breathing time. I should have thought about that more. I should have let it breathe some more, but I thought I gave it enough time. I'm swirling it around, looking for legs. I'm smelling it and stuff like that. I F around with the wine typically for like 4 or 5, maybe not that long, 3 or 4 minutes before the first sip hits my lips. Wow, it's going to be cold in Florida. Yeah, it's cool at nights now. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice weather at night inside the house. I guess it's cool when you go outside, bring a jacket. Let's see. I didn't know there's a movie making fun of vegans called The Human Supremacist. Someone joins a cult, starves himself, and tries to develop photosynthesis to avoid plant cruelty and animal cruelty. That sounds completely whack. Really? No, you don't have to swirl the wine. It's just something I learned to do a long time ago, like in the 2000s. So I just do it for the hell of it, I like to look at it. I like to look at for clarity, just see what's going on, and yeah, I really like to smell it for a while too. I like this kind of the smell. I like trying to detect flavors, and I'm getting better at it. Like when we went to that Italian restaurant, the vegan Italian restaurant last Saturday. I told Angela, we both get our glasses of wine. Let's just try to each see if we can use our sense of smell and our memories connected to the olfactory senses. Just try to detect one flavor, the modest goal of just picking out one flavor. When you see someone say, it smells like whatever, Yeah, so we both did it, and we both nailed it. When we came back, we looked up what these wines are supposed to, what notes in there. Yeah, I told her, yeah, I noticed apple, like specifically a green apple, and sure enough, the white Italian wine I had, yeah, that was one of the flavors, the aromas and taste you're supposed to get out of it. So cool. I guess I have a little knack for it. How long have I been vegan, Luke? Since 15 years about now. I didn't write it down exactly in 2010, the day I went vegan, but I know it was after early October. So anytime in late October, November, fair game. So yeah, let's just say I've been vegan like 15 years now. And by the way, you might say, man, that guy looks bad. He's probably like 29. He looks like he's 58. No, I am 58 years old, by the way. So yeah, 58 and vegan, 15 years, and not deficient, great blood labs, high testosterone if that matters to you, and haven't passed on yet like so many people said would happen. Yeah, AG, don't forget, y'all, not all wines are vegan, but the ones at this vegan restaurant are vegan. In fact, I went to the website of the winemaker from Sicily, and it said there, yeah, it says right on their site, vegan wine. So yeah, awesome. But yeah, welcome, Luke. You're new to it yourself. Well, you come to a good place here. A lot of times when people are new to something like veganism, you might not know a lot of stuff, like information, like, we can help you out with that. We have our books, and just friends. You might not know that many or any vegan people in real life or online. Well, you come here, you'll hang out with 40 to 60 odd vegans every Friday night. We do these live streams every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Right now it's 7, so whatever time it is right now, subtract about an hour. That's when I start these. And we have this really just positive, chill, friendly, lovely bunch of mostly vegans. Not everyone's a vegan. We have a few vegetarians and vegan curious people, and they're welcome to follow too. Just good people, I should say, that happen to be vegan and plant-based that watch us here. So come anytime. Wow, you've already got temperatures into the 20s? Wow, we'd never get that back. You're way north and inland and higher in elevation too, right? Alganico wine, is that Spanish? Never heard of it. I've had a few Spanish wines and a few Portuguese wines too. I had a delicious white Portuguese wine this summer. It was awesome. Yeah, me and Angie went to like a relative's outdoor kind of like family gathering / pool party. We were there for like 5 hours and bought a bottle, and we slowly drank it over like 4 hours. It was delicious. Oh, hey, Baritas Catholic? Anyway, sorry, I feel like I'm carpet bombing on this point. No, it's all good. I'm just so grateful for your music. Thank you for the song Kaikion. Thanks. What an amazing song. The wailing sound guitar is unbelievable. This takes me back. You do know we're making music all in this kind of vein lately. I just been on this really beautiful, sad trip that's really reminiscent of that era. In fact, Angie and I are putting... we're close to completing a new song now that should come out probably in early December that really harkens back to that. We're both thinking when we're making this, like, wow, I really feel a lot of 90s stuff. In fact, I got my old drum machine that I used on that album on Ardor and Idols and sampled the kick drum, the snare drum, the hi-hats, and they blended in perfectly that songs. Got acoustic guitar just like Kaikion. I'll play a little Kaikion. I don't think I've ever played Kaikion before on a live stream. Should be in tune because I was just playing it yesterday. There you go. A little super quickie instrumental version of Kaikion. It's just two chords, A minor 9 and F major 7. Basically, first I was arpeggiating them and then strumming them. I use A minor 9. I love minor ninth chords. I didn't know what they were back in the 90s when I made that song, but once I learned jazz harmony, which doesn't mean jazz, just like jazz chord extensions, I thought, minor ninth, that's my favorite chord. I've been using that forever. I'm still using it pretty much every song, guys. Seriously, I kid you not. Like, I think every song I've made in the past like 4 or 5 years has at least one minor ninth chord in there. Just something weird about me. I can't make a song without a minor ninth chord. The guitar behind me, Uncle, that's a Telecaster I put together. It has a Fender neck, so it looks like a real actual Fender, but the body comes from another company, and I assembled it with to create the kind of guitar I thought I would kind of need to have in my setup here. So yeah, it's kind of called a parts caster. That's what the name is given to people or guitars that people assemble using parts from all different sources. I just think it is a Fender Telecaster because I see the Fender name on the headstock. Oh, cool. Barrett is Catholic. Cool, I'm glad. But yeah, check out our new stuff. In fact, let me point you. Have you seen our latest song on Bandcamp? I'll just play a tiny bit of it here. Let's see. Yeah, I think OK is my favorite of the new bunch, maybe. Let me play a little bit of OK. Sad, soulful song. I'll put the link here too if you want to check out our Bandcamp.
I don't think that I can fake it. Feeling like I don't belong.
Anyway, that's some of our latest tunes there. Yeah, Bandcamp rocks because you can own the music. You download it, you're not dependent on a server going down like what happened a couple weeks ago. So anyway, yeah. But yeah, we're working on a new song. Should be out in a... Hope we'll finish it this coming week. and then we'll probably come out 3 or 4 weeks after that. We need that kind of lead time, especially this time of the year. Our distributor usually can get it out in about 2 weeks, but this time of the year, 3 or 4 weeks is safer. I guess a lot of people are releasing music before Christmas. It's too late by then. John, you hate running in the cold? Actually, it's been shown that the ideal temperature for distance running, like marathons in particular, but this applies to anything longer than like running like 400 meters or 200 meters, is actually like in the 50s, like 55 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that, because the physiology of when you're running is you're creating all this heat, and the heat's got to escape. So the cooler it is, it's easier to get the heat escaped and stuff. So yeah, that's why people pass out when it's hot when they're running distance and stuff like that. So yeah, you might not like it, and it's a little more psychologically, I think, a struggle, but physiologically your body is being able to get rid of the heat like way more efficiently. So yeah, if you want to run your personal best and it's like 70 degrees and sunny out, ain't gonna happen unless that's all you ever run in. But if you ever find like a day where it's cloudy and 60, in the same training, you'll get your personal best. Let's see. Do I still send people to Challenge 22? I don't think I've ever sent people to Challenge 22. I don't even know what that is. I don't really have any good resources, honestly, to help people with being vegan. I mean, come to our live streams and chill with all these fine vegan people. That's my contribution to that. Oh, cool. Carmichael, like our song Numenon. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones too of this recent bunch, meaning from like the past like year and a half or two. That's the one that really got us started on this path that we've been following ever since then. Like Numenon was a big turning point, and yeah, still a song I'm very proud of. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, hydration's super important in any athletic activity. Oh, but ice, yeah, we don't have that. Yeah, some of you guys have to deal with ice. Yeah, it doesn't snow or ice around here, fortunately. I think that stuff would freak me out. Like sliding on ice when walking or driving, that sounds so scary. Okay, that's what I figured Challenge 22 would do. Let's see. Oh, okay, thanks for the chip there. You guys see what Peter's saying? If anyone's looking to buy some vegan barefoot shoes, yeah, not me right now. I'm kind of keeping my money tight. I think I was reading that consumer sentiment right now is the lowest it's been since like the financial crisis of 2008, and I'm in that too. I'm just keeping my money kind of tight right now. I mean, the reason is, you guys know, everything's just expensive now, so you really gotta like pick and choose like what you're gonna do with your bucks and stuff. So, but yeah, fortunately we got to get that nice Italian dinner last Saturday. Again, thanks to you guys' super chat tips. Again, we had a really beautiful night. I want to thank you guys once again for your super chat tips. It pretty much covered it. Since we each get a glass of wine, it pushes it over what the super chat tips were. So anyway, you subsidize it heavily, and we had a wonderful, lovely night. And I always like it when the owner's there and he sees us, because, I just want him to know that, hey, we like your business. We want to let you know all the time that we're supporting you guys, because we want them to make it hardcore. Daily Dozen app? No, I don't have anything like that. You saw the pizza? Yeah, Angie posts that on her social media too. Yeah, she'll have our wine in there too. It's so good. Everything about the place is so lovely. I like how we can walk there. You don't have to worry about driving. You don't have to worry about driving drunk. You don't have to worry about parking. It's pretty hardcore to park there like Saturday nights and stuff. So we just walk there. It's all good. If it's warm, sit outside. If it's cool, sit inside. It's good vibes. They play cool music inside. What else? Yeah, the food is just, you can just tell it's just made really well, really thoughtful. The wine, I even told the owner, I said, man, I didn't know much about Italian wines, but you picked some great wines to pair with this food here. He's describing how they're pretty much all like Southern Italian wines and food of I think from the Campania region, and it pairs well with the kind of food they make there. Mac and cheese? No, they have nothing of the sort like mac and cheese there, Peter. No, it's all Italian dishes, Well, our favorite there, I tell you, is the margarita pizza. But we've had some, what is that? Lasagna the first time we went there with Angie's brother a few months back. But anyway, yeah. You gotta pick and choose your good times. Let's see, we check the vertical stream. Everything looks cool there. Let me see if anyone's even watching on the vertical. I'm just really curious. 1 second here. Okay, have it paused. Okay, 9 people are over there. Okay. New album. I see the question, their new album. How come I'm not getting that? I guess it takes a second for the... Maybe the chat's messed up here. But anyway, let me see. Let me see if I'm getting all the chats or not. Huh. It stopped refreshing. Let me pop it out one more time. 1 second, guys. Good thing I checked. I gotta figure this out though. Why are the chats separated? YouTube said they would be in one spot. I saw a couple questions there. New album. Yeah, we've kind of changed our philosophy, if you will, of how we release music now in this modern age. And it works really well. Back in the day, when in the 90s, we were always pressured by our record label, like, you know, it's all about releasing CDs. You got to have, like, you know, at least 10 songs, preferably more. You know, because CDs could hold up to like 72 minutes of music. All my albums are short. They're 10 songs, like 40 odd minutes and done. But anyway, but it takes a long time. It takes a couple years, like a year and a half to make an album that you're going to release it. It's like 2 years between the world sees you again. And in today's age, that's an eternity. Back then, I was trying to ask our label, can we just release EPs, like release a 4-song EP 1 year, a 4-song EP the next year? He said, no, because you can't charge as much for those as you can a full-length CD album. So anyway, nowadays, I was seeing, I tell you, I follow a lot of like Korean artists, K-pop, K-indie, K-R&B, and I noticed some of them just release songs. Like whenever they got a new song, they put it out, and maybe after they have enough, they'll compile an album together. Bottom line is, I love this. That way you can put out a song every month or so or whatever, however long it takes you, and always have new stuff going out there. You're getting stuff out regularly, keeping on people's minds. So if we ever put an album together, and we're at a point where we could now, we have at least like 10, 11 new songs. We'll probably do that at some point. So if there's an album coming out, it'll probably feature like one brand new song that we haven't released yet, and then the other like ones from the past year and a half or so that we've been putting out on pretty much a monthly basis now for this time. So yeah, good question. What kind of vegan pastas are there at this place? Let me look right now, Peter. Let me just look them up right now and get their menu here. I only have their wine menu stored, so I gotta pull it up right here. I'll let you know. Okay, 1 second. I got it. It's coming up. All right, I'm gonna make all you guys' mouths water right now. Okay, so let's look at dinner. What do they got for dinner? So, okay, again, I tell you, I never studied Italian, and I haven't gone to too many Italian restaurants in my life. I studied French and Spanish. So for dinner, they have, okay, they have pizza. Ooh, how come, okay, for pasta, it's not behaving the way I would think. Okay, ooh, it's all getting messed up on my browser here. Okay, margarita pizza, diavola pizza, capricciosa, I don't know what these words mean. And you're asking about pastas. I saw pastas here. But it's not scrolling right for me. Come on, listen to me. I guess their website isn't compatible with my mobile device. Crap. Try one more time here. I wish I could tell you right now. Let me try one more time. Let me try to reload it and see if I can trick it. Oh, I'm getting somewhere. Yeah, if I scroll the wrong direction. Okay, for pasta, they got spaghetti, gnocchi, agnolotti, strozzapreti, lasagna, which we had before. It was really good, and risotto. Remember, everything is vegan as well. So hopefully I didn't butcher the Italian too bad up there, the Italian language. I'm sorry. I'm not really good at it in any way. I'm like really bad with Italian. Let's see. Did I mention cacao pepe? I don't remember reading that. I'm not sure. Listen, I don't track jack crap as far as my micros or macros or anything like that. What I do is, and this is advice I have gotten or seen given by actual vegan medical doctors, is that, yeah, it doesn't hurt to track that stuff, but what I do is what they recommend. Eat a wide-ranging, a very well, balanced, non-restrictive vegan diet. Eat all sorts of plants. I'm getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that all the time, instead of just like, oh, I'll eat our potatoes and bananas. Then I might have some deficiency. So I'm eating all the different colors, all the different plants, and ensuring that I get a wide spectrum of micronutrients in addition to my macros. So that's what I do. And is it working? I think so, because I get my blood test. It doesn't test every last thing, obviously, but I'm not deficient. The doctors aren't tripping, saying, "Hey, man, you're gonna die. You're gonna get sick or something like that." And I'm doing pretty well as far as health and all that stuff. So I'm probably working out. So again, I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just telling you, I've heard a few vegan medical doctors say, just don't restrict yourself. Eat a balanced, well-varied, non-restrictive vegan diet, and you should be getting a lot of the good nutrients. And supplement or consume fortified foods. I have a daily vitamin that I like to take daily, and I have a B12 spray that when I remember, I'll grab it and squirt it, and also I've had an iodine supplement that you guys convinced me to get like last year. It's still in the fridge. I only remember to take it once in a while. That's about it. Nothing hardcore. A lot of people think, oh man, this vitamin and supplement regimen that all vegans have to take. Like, no, first, they don't have to. Secondly, it's really not a big deal to take a daily supplement. I was doing that before I was vegan, like growing up that way in the house, with my mom and stuff. If I remember, take a shot of B12, it's no big deal. It's just what I remember. It's not like a daily regimen. I need an app to track and remind me. It's nothing inconvenient at all like that. Yeah, it's late model's absolutely right. Yeah, B12 and D, especially like that late model living in a more northerly latitude and doesn't like UV sunlight exposure. I'm getting more like that now too as I get older, trying to protect my skin more. But yeah, totally. Those I think those are the big two. I think if you're vegan, should definitely take B12. And most people, not even just vegans, most people should probably take a D supplement from the research I've studied on this as well. Isn't it unnatural to have to rely on taking supplements? Well, let me ask you this. Most people, there's so much wrong with that statement there, Carmichael. I mean, first of all, the vitamin market wasn't created for us vegans. They're eating meat, they're eating cheese and eggs and all this crap and dairy, and still, people still have the need to take supplements. So don't say this is a thing that vegans have to do. So that first of all, I just want to say, taking vitamins doesn't mean that you're deficient vegan. It's for us. It's for all people. If you go to the doctor and they say, hey, Mr. Meat Eater and Miss Vegan here, you guys are low in vitamin D. You know what the doctor's going to say? Take a vitamin D supplement, no matter what your diet is. So if you're low on something, just take a supplement. There's no shame. And I don't see anything about it being unnatural. Like, what's wrong with taking a supplement once in a while to ensure you have good health, especially if you're my age? The United States Department of Agriculture has long recommended that all people over the age of 50, I'm 58, take a B12 supplement. They didn't say just vegans, they said all people. So I'm just doing what I should be doing. Do you see people over 50 fighting back the USDA? Well, why are you recommending that I take some kind of unnatural supplement? It's not natural to take supplements. No, you just should take one to be healthy. Who cares if it's natural? And again, it's this appeal to nature fallacy, like assuming what happens in nature is good. And if you do something that goes against what happens in nature, whatever that means, it's bad. There's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong with taking a supplement. And the way I see it too, if I say I have to take supplements the rest of my life as a vegan, which I probably will, if that's all I got to do to not have to have animals killed for me and eat their flesh, no brainer. Like, to me, that's totally unnatural. Like, killing animals or paying some persons, exploited humans to exploit animals and kill them so I can eat them. Just take a supplement, bypass all that horrible hell I just described there, and take a peaceful supplement and not have to participate in the animal death industry. So yeah, I'll gladly be unnatural, whatever that means. If that, some people see it like that, and take a supplement, you know, if that's what it takes to avoid the hell of animal cruelty, totally. And Late Model points out, yeah, if you look at the average lifespan of like Paleolithic era people, 30 was a good age to make it to. So I wouldn't look at people who are lucky to get to age 30 as the pillars of human perfection and all that stuff. No, I want to kick ass over these guys that died at 30. I already am. I'm already like twice that age, basically. So yeah, I want to do better than a caveman. I want to do better than a Paleolithic era person. Not dissing them. I'm not dissing them, you know, saying bad about them or anything like that. I'm saying I aim I'm aiming higher. You know, we have more resources now, as Late Model point out. We can do better than our poor Paleolithic ancestors who are just trying to scrape by and exist, make it to another day. You know, they didn't have the ability that we have now, like, you know, with civilization, to say, hey, you know what? I can just eat plants now. I don't need to hunt anymore, you know, to stay alive. I can eat plants. They didn't have that luxury. They didn't have the luxury to have that kind of moral thinking. If you're just surviving day to day, that's not an option for you. So we have way more options. We can be better than our Paleolithic ancestors, both on everything I described there. Why should we... Carmichael, you're a vegan, right? I thought I've seen you here before. Are you just trolling us right now or something like that? I think you're trolling us, right? But again, why should we aspire to emulate people who were lucky to make it to 30 years old and didn't have the resources and knowledge and technology that we have now? Why are we holding these primitive people who died really early as the model to base our behaviors off of? Please let me know why they are the gold standard, the people that died at 30. I see in the vertical chats, someone said, no one wants to eat bugs, you fruitcake. First of all, I've never advocated for eating bugs. I don't want to eat bugs, and I'm not a fruitcake. And he also said plants are living things with feelings. They are alive, yeah, they're not rocks, but they are not feelings. In order to have feelings, you're talking about feelings. Like, what kind of feelings can plants have? Let me know. List some of the emotions that you honestly, sincerely believe. Lamaka, tell me some of the emotions. Do they have anger? Do plants have embarrassment? Do they have fear? Do they have hope? Tell me, give me a small list, a small array of feelings that you are certain that plants have, and we can fact check that. Anyway, Andy Rabbit White points out, yeah, the more recent analysis of remains from Paleolithic or just people from a few thousand years ago, we fantasize, oh, they're chasing animals around in loincloths. No, I mean, I don't know if they're wearing loincloths or not, but they're eating way more plants. It's just harder to find fossils of plants than it is of like bones and stuff like that. But they just say it again. They were survivors. They ate whatever they could. If you were trapped on a desert island, you'd probably just want to survive. You're probably not going to think, so I'm going to eat only meat or I'm going to eat only plants. You're just probably trying to make it to the next day. Oh, okay, so he's a nice Christian here. Lamaka is a Christian. No, I'm not bagging on you nice Christians over in the the horizontal live stream, but this guy's a friendly Christian. He says, we all come from God. Circle of life, dickhead. So this is how this is the morals you get from your religion, is you come to live streams and just lie, because I thought lying isn't in the Bible. I thought it says you shouldn't lie. I thought that's clearly stated in the Old Testament, that lying is a sin. So you've sinned here, coming to this live stream and saying plants have feelings. I've challenged you to produce a list of feelings that you know that plants have. You failed to do that. And instead, you called me a dickhead. And so is that what Jesus would do? If Jesus encountered a vegan and the vegan challenged him for some support for the crazy thing you just said, Jesus would say, hey, dickhead. So is this what's going on? Let me see if I can refresh the vertical. 1 second here. Hang on one sec. I think if I just hit refresh here, it'll come on. Reload. Okay, is that it? Okay. So did he run? I guess he didn't come back here. I guess our friendly, loving Christian who feels it's totally morally justified to lie, not a sin, and to call a nice vegan man like myself a dickhead ran. So, all right, nice. No need to be a jerk. Thanks, late model, for going over there and telling this nice, friendly, I'm sure he's a man. Anyway, yeah, that was fun. To get attacked by a Christian while he was lying and sinning and calling a fellow nice human being a dickhead. Oh, Peter, the person was in the vertical chat, and he claimed to be a Christian as well. Thought it was cool to call me a dickhead and lie. Anyway. All right, so what's been happening in the mainstream? No, there's not more action in the there's more troll action, I guess, in the vertical live stream, but it's being watched right now by fewer people, and the comments are coming way less rapidly. Oh, he came back. Let's see what our friendly Christian man said. Nice, yeah, right. Nice, yeah, right. What? You lied. You sinned. You came to this live stream and you disobeyed your religion. You committed a moral sin here. You lied. I was Christian when I went to Christian churches when I was younger. I know it's in the Bible for the most part. I remember lying is a sin. So you came here and lied right in front of me and your Lord. And you called me a dickhead. And, you could say, well, the lying's in the Old Testament. We don't follow that much. We follow the New Testament, the Jesus stuff. So you're telling me Jesus would call me a dickhead. Wow, that's a good sales pitch for, what you're promoting here. I would never call you a dickhead, to put it like that. See, I'm the more moral person here. I haven't lied to you, and I haven't resorted to insulting you as well with horrible names like that. Yeah, speaking of the circle life, D-Rabbit, does circle of life include unnatural domestication, sexual manipulation of non-humans as well as humans? I don't think he knows what he's talking about here, because he's already lied and can't answer other than responding with insults. Yeah, no insulting our revered cult leader. Because, by the way, Lamaka97, I am the vegan cult leader. You didn't know that that's what you stumbled into tonight. But yeah, vegans are a cult, right? And yeah, I'm the leader of that cult. So nice to meet you. Carmichael, someone make sure. I knew you were a vegan, Carmichael. I knew you were trolling. Someone make sure Ryan knows I was trolling a little bit about the ancestor crap. He wanted someone to come convince him he's wrong about veganism. Well, thank you. No, I enjoy that. No, I knew you were. I just found it as a good. I was not new. I was 99% sure. I know you. Aren't you wearing a vegan shirt there? I can't see your pictures. Not huge or anything like that. But yeah, I remember you from the live streams. But anyway, it's cool to talk about these ancient ancestor arguments, things that you hear. It's good to be prepared. If you're not sure as a vegan how to respond, because you'll probably have someone say that to you. Honestly, even if you don't promote veganism on social media, just going out and talking to people, school or work or whatever, someone's going to say something stupid to you, and it could be hey, that's not natural kind of thing. So now, if you didn't know already, you have some ideas on how you could possibly respond to that criticism. D-Rabbit White, you're the biggest liar. You have to lie to yourself every day to get through minute to minute. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, our Christian friend is back. What are you going to tell me here? Or you don't have to be gay. Oh, here we go. So these are the morals that you've gotten from your religion, that you lie even though it's a sin. you insult people for being a dickhead, and then you accuse me of being gay. So you're homophobic too. Wow, you're a shining example of what you're doing there, man. Keep it up. Everyone's going to want to convert to what you're preaching here because it's so appealing. Most people would love to be able to lie all the time, and most people would love to be homophobic, but they're afraid. But you're still letting people. Yes, you lied. You said that plants have feelings. And when pushed on the matter, when I asked you specifically, tell me what feelings plants have. Do they have fear? Do they have hope? Do they dream? Do they have embarrassment and anger? You didn't produce any because plants do not have feelings. They are alive and they are biological creatures. They're able to do things that might, from a human-centric point, seem like they're sentient or something. Like they can detect light. They can orient themselves to absorb light. But, I have detectors in my house and garage that can detect light and turn stuff on or off depending on if light's available or not. No one would call that sensor sentient, or that my light sensor in my garage has emotions or feelings or anything like that. Plants have nerves? No, plants do not have a brain or a central nervous system. So even if, say, they had nerves, where would the feelings be produced? Because as humans with brains, that's where our emotions are produced. So tell me, when I eat a banana, where does the anger or embarrassment come from? Like, what part? Is it in the peel? Is it in the banana itself? Tell me. Or is it in the tree? Where does the feeling of hope or embarrassment? And again, you never told me what feelings plants have. So yeah, they don't have brains. They don't have central nervous systems. Those are biological prerequisites to have sentience, to have reflective agency in order to experience emotional life. Okay, now we're talking about abortion. See what you're doing is, this is known in debate tactics as dodging. He's trying to deflect and dodge and pivot to a whole nother topic without answering the questions that I so carefully laid out earlier. Now he wants to just talk about God and being homophobic, now bringing up abortion. So I'm not going to get into that because I can bring up examples in the Old Testament where God commanded the killing of babies. But I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to make you defend what happened to the Amalekites or the Canaanites for that matter. But, Amalekites is probably a better example because they did nothing wrong. So anyway, I'm going to ignore that dude. I'm going to ban you for being a bigot, a homophobe, and you never answered. I'm banning you for being a liar, basically. You came here and told me plants have emotional life. When pressed on what kinds of emotions they have, you couldn't say anything. Then you proceeded to call me a dickhead and proceeded to be homophobic. So you're a great example of why I'm going to ban your ass right now. You violated every possible rule you could. So anyway, he's gone. No, he tried to make it religious by saying that God had something to do with his belief system or something like that. Yet he proceeded to be one of the most foul human beings I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you could be a Christian or a non-Christian. That guy was a complete bigot. I've seen non-Christian bigots. I've seen Christian bigots. I hate bigots in all their flavors. Nothing about his religion. I just found it, what I find amusing is that he's trying to use his religions as some kind of example of what a great person he is. But despite everything he demonstrated as being the opposite of a great person. All right, anyway. So hopefully none of my Christian friends here in the horizontal live stream got offended by that. I was not picking on him for his religion. I was pointing out the hypocrisy of him trying to stand on the crutch of being this good moral person because he professed his religion, yet he displayed all the non-virtuous, hateful attributes we would expect from a person who is completely devoid of ethical and moral life. Oh, you missed a troll by getting extracted. He was over in the vertical stream. Let's see. I got one more little comment there in the vertical stream. Let's see. From Green Phoenix. Your whole food plant-based. Plant-based. Awesome. Plants have helped your mental health better than any drug. You're Christian. You appreciate he was banned. Yeah, because I know he was not a great example of your faith. I just hate when people try to use their religion as a justification for evil, horrible things. Like, like homophobia, stuff like that. Just bigotry. And I don't vibe with that, at all. Because I hate bigotry in all its forms, and to use your religion as a justification to be a horrible, bad person is just totally effed. It's funny to use abortion as a gotcha, but I know how to respond to that in this kind of case, because I know in the Old Testament there are at least 2 examples where it was commanded to kill babies. So I don't want to go there, but I could have fried him on that too. But we're not going to enter into religious debates. We're keeping it purely about, if we're going to debate anything, it'll be something about vegan philosophy. I'm not going to turn this channel into a religion debate channel. This is the last thing I want to do here. Trust me on that one. Well, I'm glad he was banned, Green Phoenix 6292, because I know there's really nice Christians that watch our live stream, like Heidi, who are not homophobic and lying all the time like this dude was. But thank you. Yeah, that's their only defense, Tin Man, is deflection. They refuse to engage with the dialogue, with the conversation, won't answer your questions, and instead will just pivot to something completely else and hope you won't notice. But no, I notice this stuff. I know the basics of debate tactics and things to look out for, and that's just so plainly clear when you've put out very specific questions to be answered, and they act like they never heard them and they want to talk about something else totally unrelated. Just hold their feet to the fire, say, are you trying to try out for the World Series LA Dodgers? Because you're dodging the question over and over again. One of my favorite comebacks is allegedly Ian, a guy I watch sometimes on YouTube, his live streams. He said, how many hours of weasel footage were you watching on YouTube before you came to my live stream here? Because you are weaseling. You're doing nothing but weaseling out of the discussion at hand here. Well, thank Carmichael for the super chat tip there. I earned that $1 from you today, going through your anti-vegan questions there about ancient people, unnaturalness of taking supplements and stuff. Oh, I see. Late models checking out the horizontal. Yeah. Come over to the horizontal. Bobby Brady says he was right. To be honest, he was right about what? That I'm a dickhead, or what? That plants experience emotional life, such as like anger, embarrassment, joy, and how can plants be sentient? Anyway, let's just settle this once and for all here. Let's just go see what the scientific consensus is about this. Why listen to me? I'm not a botanist. I could be lying and stuff. Do plants have feelings or emotions? No, plants do not have feelings or emotions because they lack a brain and nervous system. However, as I said, they can sense and respond to their environment through a network of cells, but that doesn't make sentience. If so, my light detectors that turn lights on from dark when they sense light or whatever, that they would say that's sentient. I have a light bulb that comes on every night when it gets dark. That light bulb, trust me guys, is the furthest thing from sentient. There's a piece of technology in there that senses light, and plants have a biological sort of version of that sort of light sensing technology. It's just rooted in biology rather than like silicon or whatever. Wow. That's awesome, VLAM. Yeah, share your random personal anecdote here. Totally cool. After religiously downing... Ooh, I gotta tell Angie to start the food. After religiously downing green smoothies daily for 6 months, your rheumatoid arthritis is in remission. Doctor said you can get off the meds. I forgot to have Angie start the food. Holy shit. That's a good point, Eston. Eston here. Do you think we have better luck convincing people vegan is less harmful for plants than convincing that plants aren't sentient? That's another approach. That's equally valid. I'll accept that as a way of responding totally. I just like to direct the misinformation head on, because that's just a big effing lie that plants are sentient. They don't believe that, right? The only time you see any human arguing that plants have feelings and plants are sentient is when, guys, when is the only context, the only situation where you see grown adults and teenagers asserting and arguing that plants can feel things? It's only when trying to deal with vegans. They try to make it sound like, well, here's the cognitive dissonance. Like, oh man, I feel bad. Yeah, these vegans, they're not eating animals, and but they eat plants. But plants are alive. They must have feelings too. So what the vegans are doing is really no different from what I'm doing, because the cow has feelings and the plant has feelings too. So we're equally morally on the same foot. They're trying to do some bullshit like that. No one ever will rationally just come out and just sit there without any vegan situation happening around them. Just say, you know what? Yeah, I think my plants are feeling anger and embarrassment right now. And if so, then how can you live? How can you walk across lawn every time you step on a blade of grass? Oh my God, plants are getting killed and stuff. And when pushed, like, where does the sentience occur? In mammals, you can point to regions of the brain. Where does it happen in a banana? Like, it's nowhere. Oh, Bobby Brady, what's wrong with a juicy steak? There's enough weak pansy being in the world currently. Well, what makes you think that eating steak makes you a strong man? Eating a steak can lead you to have cardiovascular disease, have you a heart attack, and then you're unable to walk on your own for the rest of your life. So how is that so strong? There are vegan bodybuilders right now who could probably like break you like a twig. There's vegans who have lifted in the Olympics, weightlifting. There's vegan athletes in the NBA, NFL. So this is just bullshit. You're just spouting nonsense that vegans are somehow weak and pansy or something like that. Look at vegan bodybuilders. Let's entertain Sarah for a second. Let's look up a nice strong man, like say Nimai Delgado. Let's see. Get ready for some thirst traps, people. Let's see. So yeah, here we go. Very weak. Oh, let's see. So how's this? How's this for a weak pansy man right now? There you go. Well, he's not known for taking steroids. That's the thing. You can't win as a vegan. First, they say all vegans are weak and muscular. So if you get really jacked like Nima here, then they say you're on steroids. There's absolutely zero evidence. All that means to me is that you've tried to get jacked. You're unable to. You don't have the genetics. You didn't put in the work. You didn't have the nutrition that Nima has. So you say the only way a person can do that is they're not natural. When there's zero evidence, to me that's just a stupid, lame-ass cop-out. You just accept the fact. You won't be as jacked as Nimai, and he's a vegan, and I know that pisses you off. So tough shit if you don't believe that he's a natural bodybuilder. I have every reason to believe to. And first of all, Nimai has never even eaten meat his entire life. He was born into a vegetarian household, and as a baby had animal products and maybe eggs, but he's never had meat his entire life. He went vegan later on. So nice try. Thanks for playing. And did you like that, Sarah? There's a vast difference. He said Arnold was all natural as well. There's a vast difference between what Arnold looks like and what Nimai look like there. Here's the thing. Let's look at it one more time. There's really nothing all that crazy here. I mean, as far as his musculature goes, I've seen bigger. I mean, that's not like an insane chest or anything like that. Those are not insane biceps or shoulders. They're really they're big, but they're not like off the charts crazy. And then he got really lean for this photograph. So there's nothing like that says, yeah, this cannot be done naturally. You see some like muscles that are just way too big, and all his are within the range of like someone who works really hard and has good genetics here. So anyway, yeah. All right, Bobby. Thanks for coming here and trying to argue. And all you've proven is that you are unable to get as jacked as some vegans are. And he's not the only one. You can follow others, like follow Brian Turner on YouTube. Just for starters, look for Simnet Nutrition. Just rambling a couple off the top of my head here. Hey, Bon Bon Whiskers, thank you for joining. The Happy Fam here. Thanks for becoming a member. Yeah, Tori Washington. Yeah, Tori Washington, Paul Tucker, Robert Cheek. I mean, all these guys are huge. Like Johnny Bravo. Are you still here? He's buff as F too, you know? Huh? Yeah, I mentioned Brian Turner, yes. I had to show Nimai for late model, for Sarah. You know, that makes her day, I think. Yeah, I mentioned that. He's never had meat. Born into a vegetarian family. Went vegan later.
The food is in the cooker.
Food. I forgot to text you at 7:30. I totally effed up.
I know. I actually kept checking my phone. I thought maybe you're having fun.
And AJ points out that her favorite hot vegan actor can lift 450 pounds. I wonder if Bobby Brady over in the vertical chat could lift 450 pounds. Why would anyone want to look unnatural? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to look like Nimai. Let's look at Nimai again. I don't necessarily want to look like Nimai. That's just not my thing. I fit in well with like the look of like, basketball players. I don't want to do that. I don't have the desire. I don't have the genetics to do that. It's not going to happen. But hell, if you want to do it, if you want to work your ass off for like a decade of hard work and eat right, you can do that. And also, again, your genetics have to be amenable to that too. So yeah, if you don't want to look like Nimai, fine. You can look more like a basketball player. You can look like a marathon runner. Whatever you want to do. I just wanted to point out. You said, "Oh, vegan men are weak and shit." Nope. That's just some bullshit nonsense. D Rabbit says, I like the build of Bike Guys or Spider-Man, skinny but strong as F. Yeah, totally. There's not one physical aesthetic that all people aspire to be. Just like, say, if you have this physique of Nimai, it's great for getting on the cover of fitness magazines, as he has done in the past. It's a horrible body for many other things, like, say, running, distance running, even sprinting. It's a horrible body for professional cycling, all kinds, track racing, distance, like Tour de France type stuff. It's horrible for that. Basketball, it's not a great body either. I mean, he's a little too short for it as well, too. And not all bodies work out for every sport, So, do what you want. Do what makes you happy. If you want to get super jacked and cut, awesome. If that's your passion, cool. If your passion is bobsledding, be a great vegan bobsledder or what have you. It's drugs and unnatural chemicals. You don't know that. I'm going to ban you for lying. That's one thing we don't tolerate here. I'm going to block you at least for 24 hours. You weren't as bad as the bigot we had earlier, but you have zero evidence that Nimai Delgado takes any kind of like illegal or whatever chemical to get his body. I see nothing about it that screams it has to be from drugs. I know what those bodies look like. I've been on YouTube for long enough. I know what that looks like. There's nothing unobtainable about that. It's just a lot of work. Like I said, that's a fine set of pecs there, but it's not crazy big. I've seen way crazy bigger ones. It's just a lot of work. It's just a cop out. Again, all I'm hearing is I can't look like that. Therefore, the only way this vegan who's weak could do it is through drugs. Now that's just bullshit. Are dad bods hot? Well, as they say, Uncle, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So I'm sure there's a fetish for dad bods, right? Yeah, it wasn't like Channing Tatum all the rage for a while with his daddy body. Jana, whatever you got to do to text right. Okay, someone else saying bigot and you guys entertain Kat Von D. What do you mean entertain? We saw her one night at a dinner. I don't know her. I've never messaged her, or texted her, or anything like. I don't know what you're referring to exactly. I don't follow what she does, but I mean, it's like saying I'm not even knowing what he's acknowledged, but say she did something really bad. It's like, how is that part of me? How does that, let's just assume she did something really big. I don't know what, but anyway, how does that make me one? Every person I've ever come into contact with, I'm somehow held responsible for their behaviors, their good behaviors I'm part of. If they do something awesome, I'm part of it. If they gave money to all these charities, I take credit in that. I can bask in that. Or if they did something bad, I'm somehow held accountable. She seemed like a nice person the night I met her. I probably spoke maybe 30 words tops to her. So anyway, I'm not sure what you're getting at. So you're trying to say someone I know did something you don't like, therefore I'm a bad person. Yeah, that makes absolutely zero effing sense. Is that the level of your reasoning? Is that all you can do? Try some ad hominem attack of someone who's never been part of my social circle ever. Carmichael, yeah, I'm not an advocate of always eating perfectly or something like that. I mean, and some chips aren't bad. I've been kind of a fan lately of these kettle air fried chips. They have like zero saturated fat. They weren't cooked in any oil or anything like that, like zero fat. As far as heart health goes, I consider them, and I'm sure my cardiologist would too, a healthy food. They're not going to kill me. They're not going to increase my cholesterol or anything like that. So yeah, not all chips are bad. Yeah, air fried seem pretty damn good compared to, regular chips go. Yeah, I have cookies once in a while too. I got some Trader Joe's vegan banana bread the other day. I went past there for the first time in a couple months. That's sitting there. I'm probably have some tonight or tomorrow morning. Christian asks, what's my favorite argument for people saying you're weak for not eating meat? Well, I want to ask them, how does that make any difference? Are they asserting that you can just eat meat and just sit in your fucking armchair watching whatever, football or whatever you watch, soap operas and NASCAR, whatever, and muscles just magically grow? No, you have to put in the work. And it's just a myth. Just have them look up vegan bodybuilders, vegan professional athletes. They're strong. So it's like there's nothing about eating meat that makes you more like buff. It's like it doesn't create muscles. It's resistance training, consistency, and eating enough calories. That was a hesitant F-bomb, huh? At least I dropped it after the 2-hour mark, so if anyone just started watching at the beginning, they'd have to wait quite a while for me to get my probably only F-bomb in of the night. I'm just sick of these like silly things that people like to say. Who's the ultimate dad bod? What are we still talking about Channing Tatum? A cuss cam, is that me tonight? What's Eston Hewitt saying? Christian, one way is to get muscular, another way is to point to vegan bodybuilders or muscular herbivore animals like gorillas. Yeah, where's the gorilla get his or her protein, huh? Homer Simpson is ultimate dad bod. What's that, VLAM? Speaking of Trader Joe's, Trader Joe's tote bag is in vogue Hong Kong right now for some random. I thought I saw some deal on Reddit how people overseas, maybe it was Asia, were wearing, like, it's cool to wear a Trader Joe's tote bag right now. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's what you're referring to. I think I saw something like that not that long ago. Yeah, it went in my brain. I saw it and I didn't think about it anymore until you just brought it up. Like, I didn't think that would affect me in any way. Just thought, well, that's weird. I guess they don't have Trader Joe's out there. Is that right, VLAM? So like, it's just kind of fashionable. Like, ooh, you've traveled to America. Cool. Yeah. I don't even know if I have any more Trader Joe's bags. I think they're all thrashed from like the 2000s or something like that. Okay, yeah, I thought it was Europe actually, not Asia where I saw that at Heidi. So you probably saw what I saw too or something like that. Yeah, China could totally make the rip-off ones there really cheaply and easily, huh? I don't think no one's going to sue them. No one's going to find out who the maker of the Trader Joe's bags are or something like that. Let's see. Wow. We're on long tonight. It's 8:05. Been on a little over 2 hours. Any last-minute questions? Do I ever shop at Whole Foods? Yes. Yeah, once in a while. I would say on average, maybe once, sometimes twice a month. Something. Okay, just round it. 1.5 times a month, I'll shop at Whole Foods. It used to be one of my go-tos, but it's just kind of out of my routines, how I go about my life in the city here. So yeah, I still go by there, but it's not a regular thing. But yeah, when I usually go there, it's usually like a smaller trip. I'll kind of be in the area, so I'll just go there and get a few targeted things. We're really bummed though. Have you guys eaten at the deli? Like for years, a long time, like 10 years maybe, they had the vegan TTLA sandwich. It's like a BTLA, but with tempeh, hence TTLA. It's gone. Totally gone. Replaced by some regular BTLA or something like that. Like how lame. So anyway, yeah, less reason to go to Whole Foods now because we love that. Just go there, pop in, get that little sandwich, maybe get a little bag of those like air fried chips or something like that, and have a little snack. The thing about Whole Paycheck, yeah, it can be. You can spend a lot of money there, but their house brand, the Whole 365 brand, it's really competitive, high quality, good price. And a lot of their stuff is really competitively priced, but a lot of their stuff is overpriced, and that's where it becomes Whole Paycheck. My point is, you can't go into Whole Foods and spend pretty much, buying certain things, certain staples, and spend pretty much the same amount you would at just a regular, non-fancy supermarket. But yeah, I've experienced the Whole Paycheck thing a few times there. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's see. What's for dinner tonight? I should have texted Angie like at 7:30, but instead I was stupid. I texted her at 7:50. I put together the Instapot of ready with all the ingredients in there of Tuscan kale pilaf. I just needed to text her a little earlier to start it. So unfortunately, once this live stream ends, I'll have some. My fantasy was when this live stream is over, it'll be right when the kale pilaf is ready to eat, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to wait around at least 10-15 minutes. So anyway, let me answer this question. Let me see here. BK Flex 55. Hey Ryan, turned 60 last month. Awesome. I'm on my way, man. I'm a year and a half or so away from that. Vegan for over 12 years. Last checkup, doc, couldn't believe you're not on any meds. Yeah, neither am I. And we all know your average American our age, in 50s or 60s are on not one med but multiple meds. But we're supposedly the deficient ones, right? But I'm vegan for animal health, not mine. Yeah, me too. It just so happens if you eat a balanced, sensible vegan diet, it's healthy. Have I read Christine Korsgaard? Yeah, I know who you're talking about there. She's like a neo-Kantian philosopher, and she's extended Kant's ethics to include animals as part of beings who are deemed morally worthy, so I included her. I referred to her in the video I made a couple months ago about I think I called it the undeniable argument for veganism. I based it upon agency. I went back to Kant's idea of agency and argued that if we grant the principle of agency being sufficient for granting humans certain inherent rights, well, animals have the same behaviors that animals. I mean, they're agents. They do this things. They do what agents are defined as doing. They have goal-directed behaviors. That they make plans. They do things. So I extended animals are therefore agents. And anyway, check out that video, and I referred to Korsgaard in that video when I made that argument. Yes, I should mention this. Thank you for mentioning this, a late model. Yes, I just saw yesterday that Miyoko's, I forgot her first name, but Mrs. Miyoko, I forgot her first name. Anyway, and, she got unceremoniously ousted from her company bearing her name a few years back, or more than that. Anyway, I guess the company is being liquidated right now. It's up for sale, and she's trying to put together a group of people to help her fund the purchase to get her company back. That would be totally awesome to get her company back and have them make great products. Because at one time they were making the best vegan cheeses out there, and But anyway, yeah, I heard about that. So that is her first name. Okay, I can't remember anymore. Late model. Thanks for correcting me on that. Yeah. I think you guys are right there. Yeah, I read that yesterday. See, I don't remember everything. That doesn't make me not smart. It just makes me have a horrible memory. And not a horrible memory. I just have so many facts. You gotta like eject a couple facts to let a couple new ones in when your brain's full like mine. But yeah, I totally miss her cheeses. And I think that would be awesome. It would be great for the company to get back on track with their founder and make good products again. So I'm hoping she does that. Let's keep our fingers crossed and put some good vibe wishes out there for Miyoko. Miyoko Schindler, that's it. Thank you. You worked with her as a prep cook. Awesome. Yeah, I've met her a couple times. She seems like a really nice, sweet person. So yeah, I was really saddened to see how she got treated from whoever was in charge of her company. That sucks. So anyway, I hope she gets it back. Let's see. You have some liquid mozzarella in your freezer right now. Oh, what's that? Peter, yes, we should get a members only live stream going. You're absolutely right. We've been bad about it. It's going to be tight. I didn't even go to the gym today. My Friday's my gym day. I didn't go because we have a lot of music backed up right now too. So yeah, being able to work on all our projects and get our videos out, Angie's shorts and my weekly, debunking some knucklehead and doing the Friday live stream doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room, a lot of free time. So we're going to try it. But yeah, this week's going to be especially tougher because we're trying to finish up a new song. So anyway, we'll get it figured out. We'll get one going for sure. If we'll get it before the holidays. If not, we'll do it on the holidays. We'll have some fun together. Hey Ryan, if plants don't feel pain, why do the veins of leaves look like the nervous system? It could look like it in your mind, but it doesn't make it so, let's see. We have someone in the vertical stream. Sorry, we're not going to be able to get to you right now. But thanks for coming. Laura, come back next week. Yeah, we start whatever time it is right now, subtract 2 hours and 12 minutes, and that's when we get together and do this every Friday night. So come back and join us. And most of the comments are over in the horizontal stream. But as I promised you guys, I'm going to do some research this week, do some testing if I have to, and try to figure out how to get all the comments, if it's technically possible, to get the comments in one place so we can all join together and see each other's comments, and I don't have just to report what's going on either side. We'll all be unified. So that is one of my goals. So yeah, it's a little late. I'm going to go on. Our dinner will be ready probably in 10 minutes or so. So everyone, have a fun, safe weekend, and hopefully have some joy this week and try to do something cool that makes your life feel a little bit more fun and all. I'm going to try to do that too. That's what I'm trying to do. I've been sitting around too much, doing not too many fun things, just working. Sometimes you just got to just say screw it. We'll get to work in a bit. Let's go and do something, even if it's tiny, just something that brings a little joy to your life. I'm not saying you have to do something amazing, life change. Just little things can really add up right now, guys. So be cool, stay safe. I want to thank my moderators, Uncle and Peter. We didn't really have to do too much, even though we had a little more action today. But once we get the two chats unified, maybe it'll be a little more action with the more of the anti-vegans over there. So thanks, Uncle, and I want to see you, Uncle. I really do miss you. I know I've been saying this for a long time, but don't take it personally. We just haven't really going out and seeing many people anyway, but we really want to hang out with Uncle. There's no excuse. He doesn't live more than maybe like 35 minutes away or something like that. So we got to hang out and chill. Maybe we'll do that for the holidays one day, Uncle. Let's make that a plan. Let's do some Uncle hanging sometime. All right, guys. So that's it. I'm not sure what's going to be up next week, but I hope to get a video out. Peter, send me some more ideas, even if I don't use that one about the shirtless guy in the jungle. Just keep sending me ideas. The more I have, the easier it is for me to find one I think that's going to be a banging video that I can, make an awesome video. All right, guys. So good to have Sarah back. Late model, thanks for joining us back after a little absence there. We did miss you. Thanks for all the super chats. Let me thank everyone. We got Carmichael, Harley Tin Man, Late Model, Peter and Hector, and AJ, and Did I get everyone there? I think I got everyone. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks so much for your super chat tips. Much appreciated. And remember, guys, doesn't suck being vegan. I will see you guys next week. Until then, stay safe and be chill. Bye, guys.